Senator Ted Cruz went after his Democratic challenger, Beto O'Rourke, and of course he did it in the goofiest way and most Republican way possible. So the Hill says Senator Ted Cruz on Saturday lambasted his Democratic challenger, Representative Beto O'Rourke, for supporting NFL players' protest during the national anthem. When O'Rourke says he can't think of anything more American than players taking a knee, well, I gotta tell you, I can, Cruz said during a campaign stop in Corpus Christi, Texas, according to the Caller Times. Cruz, who is running against O'Rourke for state senate, reportedly went on to use... Did they say state senate? Cruz, who is running against O'Rourke for state senate. No, for U.S. Senate, weirdo. Reportedly went on to use service members as an example, noting that those on U.S. military posts salute the flag and stand for the national anthem. Cruz's comments came as a direct response to statements O'Rourke made last week defending NFL players' on-field protests during the national anthem. O'Rourke, asked at a town hall meeting if players' protests were disrespectful, replied that they were not, and that he could think of nothing more American than to peacefully protest for a cause one feels strongly about, the Caller Times reported. Okay, so I really like that answer from Beto O'Rourke. Hey, are you offended by the players kneeling in protest? And Beto O'Rourke's response was, no, I think that's the most American thing in the world, is to peacefully protest for something you care passionately about. Okay, that is the 100% correct answer. 100%. And Ted Cruz's response is, oh, my opponent says he can think of nothing more American. I can think of something more American. The troops. Oh, God, you're so smarmy. Oh, you're so smarmy. It's like Rudy Giuliani when he ran for president. LOL, by the way, he ran for president. Every 8 seconds, he would bring up 9/11. You know, when I was mayor on 9/11, 9/11 happened. I was here during 9/11. And everybody's like, okay, dude, it's getting a little weird. We know you think you could use this as a political advantage, but pump your brakes a little bit, son. That's what Cruz just did. My opponent says that he could think of nothing more American than kneeling during the national anthem. Me, I'm Ted Cruz, me. Well, I could think of something. The troops. Me, I'm Ted Cruz, me. Ah, you smarmy little sniveling weasel. He's so... Like, Ted Cruz is the epitome of a political actor. Everything he does is pre-planned. He had a fucking board meeting with his strategists coming up with a response to what Beto O'Rourke said. And I'm sure Beto O'Rourke, when he was asked this at a town hall, was totally off the cuff. And Beto O'Rourke is correct when he says, yeah, there's nothing more American than peacefully protesting. And Ted Cruz was sitting with his strategists like, okay, guys, we need to come up with something that makes me seem cooler than Beto. So how do we come up with something cooler? How do we spin this for my political advantage? Oh, let's say that the troops are more American than the people kneeling, because nobody can be against the troops. I'm Ted Cruz, me. Dork. You're such a fucking dork. By the way, let's analyze this for a second. So, the Constitution is supposed to be the thing that the right's like, oh, the Constitution, we love every portion of it. Of course they don't, but they act, oh, the Constitution is like a sacred document. And yeah, the First Amendment is free speech, free protest, free religion, free press. So effectively what Beto O'Rourke is saying is, hey, that literally is the most American thing, because it's the First Amendment of the Constitution that you have the right to free protest. Now, we get it. The NFL is a private organization, and they have the ability to crack down on people if they don't like what they're doing within the organization. But it's the principle of free expression that's at play here. That's the principle of it. So it is the most American thing ever. And of course, what they're doing is they're protesting to try to improve the government, because they say, hey, police brutality is a gigantic problem, and it's not being addressed in a serious way. We need to address this. So, of course, trying to form a more perfect union through protesting in the spirit of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Ted Cruz swats that aside. I like the troops. I'm Ted Cruz. I'm not a smarmy political actor trying to gain any little advantage I can by being a weasel. All right, that's exactly what I am. Me. All right, people of Texas, if you don't see through Ted Cruz, I'm at a loss for words. Because I know you can see through Ted Cruz. I know you can see through Ted Cruz. So, I mean, you want to talk about this is like a non-question for this election. I would vote for an inanimate object over Ted Cruz.